I'm a yoga instructor with the Butler HRC. Thanks so much for joining me for some yoga, and got a really nice flow planned for you. It's kind of vinyasa style, which means we may even get our heart rate up just a smidge. But again, you go at your own pace. If you want to come with me and go faster, go for it. If you want to slow down, go for it. So I'll be calling out all kinds of modifications. But yeah, we may get our heart rate up just a smidge, and then toward the end of the practice, we'll have some really nice stretches for shoulders and hips and the legs, really the entire body. So what you'll need for this workout is a strap, or if you don't have like a dedicated yoga strap, you can always use a towel or a tie or a belt, anything like that. And it's always handy to have a couple of blocks or some books. Big heavy books will do the trick for you. So let's go ahead and begin on our backs. And so we're going to start with a few comfortable, slow, deep breaths. Have your strap handy as you're lying down here, or your towel or your belt. And then we'll take a face up, kind of a face up paper doll position here. So the palms are up. You might even move the shoulder blades towards each other a little bit here, just kind of squidging towards each other to open up the front side of the body. And really feel the belly move and the chest move as you take some deep inhales and exhales. Eyes closed if you're comfortable closing the eyes here. And take a moment to see how you feel, physically as well as emotionally, to see if there are any thoughts that keep coming back again and again. And just this opportunity to observe here as you keep lengthening and deepening each breath. And as you keep that long, deep breath going on each inhale and each exhale, we'll go ahead and link a little bit of movement to that. So as we inhale, we're going to stretch the arms up overhead, flexing the feet here. Inhale all the way to the top of the lungs, and then exhale side out. Right through the mouth, release the jaw, and relax the feet completely. As we inhale, reaching the arms up overhead, flexing the feet, and then as we exhale, sighing out, bringing arms back down by the sides and relaxing the feet. You get the idea. We'll take a couple more rounds here just to the rhythm of your own breath. And then on that last sigh out, let's go ahead and hug the knees right into the chest and give ourselves a little roll around here. Just kind of massaging out the low back, bending one knee a little bit more than the other. Good. All right, and from here, we'll take that left leg out long, sending that right leg up toward the ceiling. And before we get it all the way up there, we're going to take the belt or strap and just wrap it around the ball of that right foot. So just taking a moment here, using gentle pressure on the strap as we inhale, lifting the heel up a little higher maybe. As we exhale, gentle pressure on the strap, feel that stretch in the back of the leg, of course. Few breaths here, and then we'll take a big inhale, taking both ends of the strap into the right hand. As we exhale, we're going to take that foot out to the right, hanging on both ends of the strap here for support. Left hand can be out to a T position here. Nice to have that support of the strap. Good to just manage exactly how far that leg is going and how much of an inner thigh stretch we're going to get. You might also place the left hand right on that left hip to encourage that left side of the body to stay hugging down to the floor, and that will also immediately intensify that stretch you're getting in the inner thigh. Let's take a big inhale to take it back to center, and then we're going to switch hands on the strap, so left hand grabs it, and then that leg swings over to the other side, over to the left. Right leg swings over to the left, and that right arm is out to a T. And here I really like to get a gentle pull to that strap, looking out over that right arm so it's a twist, as well as a stretch to that IT band if we pull gently on that strap. Couple breaths here. And then we'll inhale our way back to center. Letting go of the strap now, exhaling, hands on either side of that leg. We'll take the torso up, just saying hello to those core muscles around the belly, and then we inhale to take it back down, lose the strap. And one of my favorite things is to now compare the right side of the body to the left. Feels pretty different to me usually when I do this. Very simple but very effective exercise. So let's inhale to stretch it up overhead once more, flexing the feet. And then as we exhale, we're gonna hug both knees in, maybe taking a little bit of a roll around here. Eventually we're gonna take that right leg out long. And then again, take the strap around the ball of that left foot. I often see people taking the strap to the middle of the foot, like to the arch. But yeah, it's actually much more effective if you take it to the ball, like right below the toes. You'll get a better stretch out of it. So again, as we inhale, we'll take the heel a little bit higher toward the ceiling. Exhale, gentle, gentle pressure on that strap. Just a little pull downwards. And you'll know when it's too much, when your body starts to resist a little bit. Maybe let up, see if you can soften, and then increase the stretch again. Really great to just see with each breath how you feel. Keep breathing deeply here. Take a big inhale, taking both ends of the strap into the left hand, and then exhaling, foot and leg go out to the right. You can start out with that right arm out to the side, and then maybe placing right hand on right hip just to encourage that hip to keep hugging downward. Let's see if there's anywhere you're holding on here. Any extraneous tension you might find, especially if we close the eyes here. And keep breathing deeply. Gentle pull on that strap, just enough. Take a big inhale to take it back to center, and then we'll exhale to switch hands on the strap and take it over to the other side. Great, so left leg goes right, left arm is out to a T, and we're looking out over that left arm to get a little bit more twist through the torso and the spine. You might find that one side feels pretty different within these stretches as the other. Usually we have a tighter side, and sometimes that really varies day to day. Gentle pull on that strap for that stretch to the glute, the IT band. Inhaling to take it all the way back to center. All right, and then letting go of the strap. Next exhale takes you reaching through. Think of reaching through the wall in front of you. Next inhale takes you rolling down slowly and gently. And we'll lose that strap now. Take it off to the side. Again, just seeing how you feel. Probably those sides have evened out a little bit. Let's take one more big stretch up overhead, inhaling here. And then as we exhale, both knees hug in once more. And this time we've said hello to that core already, but let's tuck and round it a little bit more. And if your back is okay with this and wants to round out a lot, go ahead and begin to rock and roll forward and back. Otherwise, you can take it over to one side and come up that way, pushing up gently. You get the idea. Once we're all the way up, we're going to come to a hands and knees position here, tabletop. And then from our hands and knees position, we'll start a cat and cow flow. So inhaling the tailbone up, sending the chest forward, maybe even looking up. As we exhale, tucking and rounding into a cat stretch, pushing the floor away from you. Again, we'll inhale to come forward, coming to a back bend, lift up out of the low back, exhaling, tucking and rounding and pushing. Inhaling to open up the front side of the body, exhaling to open up the back side of the body. A couple more rounds here. And then we'll meet in a neutral tabletop position again. From here, we're going to send the left leg back. And then if you're feeling it, send that right arm forward. Spinal balance. Again, hello to the core muscles here. Just holding it, and I'm flexing the back foot and reaching the front fingertips and just feeling the opposition between those fingertips and that heel. Stretching long. Big inhale here, and then we'll exhale the right hand down, the left foot down, the left arm up into a supported side plank. Just feeling our way here. And then coming up into gate pose. So we're gonna come up, we're standing on that right knee, left hand down that left thigh, and opening up through the right side rib cage. So the right fingertips are reaching over to toward your left side of the room. Big inhale here, maybe looking up toward that top arm. And as we exhale, coming down to that all fours position, take another round or two of your cat and cow flow. And let's try that other side. So we're really warming up the spine as well as the core here. That right leg reaches long. And then when you're ready, reaching the left arm forward. Feeling that opposition and just reaching it long as you can. The core muscles are definitely involved in keeping us balanced here. Then from here, the left hand's gonna come down right foot. And here we go into our supported side plank. As we're ready, we'll go ahead and come on up into gate pose. Right hand down the back thigh, opening up this left side rib cage here. Feeling so much space in the left side of the body. Inhaling to look up toward that left arm. And then exhaling to come back into that neutral top of the table position. A couple more rounds of our cat and cow. And then on that next exhale into cat, we can come into extended child's pose, sending the hips back towards the heels. The knees can be out wide, the big toes together for extended child's pose. Those fingertips reach forward. Take a big inhale, inhale, inhale. Biggest one yet here. Hold a little bit gently at the top and then sigh it out. And then you can see if it's appropriate for you to seal the lips gently and breathe through the nose. I invite you to do that here. And however you decide to breathe, make sure it's long, slow, and deep. Often when we start breathing through the mouth, it might mean the breath is getting choppy, we're panting a little bit, and that might mean coming back to a child's pose and adjusting the breath back to long, slow, and deep. As we're ready, coming up to a neutral tabletop position again. And from our tabletop position, we might send the hands forward an inch or two, tucking the toes under, exhaling it up into our first downward facing dog. So the hips come up toward the ceiling, and we might start by pedaling out the heels here, bending one knee, straightening the other, and continuing to ensure that we are breathing deeply. Give that head a little bit of a shake, making sure we're not holding on with those neck muscles especially. Let's inhale to come up to both sets of tiptoes here, and then as we exhale, we're going to send the heels down just as far as they want to go today. Use your arm strength to press your chest towards your thighs here. Let's inhale the right leg up high, and then we'll exhale the right knee toward the nose. Hello, core. And inhaling it back up, exhaling it back down. Let's try that other side. You can always take a break in child's pose here as well. Inhaling to take that left leg high, exhaling left knee toward the nose. Inhaling it back high, and exhaling it down. Once we're all the way down, we take an inhale to look forward between the hands, and we exhale, taking one step, then another step, and ending up at the front of the mat. Whew. And from here, we shake out the head. One more time, we might grab the elbows. We might sway it out side to side here. Again, just a nice release for the low back. Keep those knees soft. Take a big inhale here, and as we exhale, hands gonna fall. Wherever they land is great. And then as we inhale, we're gonna unroll. Think one vertebra at a time, making our way up to standing. End of inhale, sends palms to touch overhead. Exhale, we take it to heart center. Just check in with how we're feeling right here and right now. Equal weight through both feet. Try to relax the toes here. Take a big inhale, and if we're not there already, the hands come by the sides, the palms forward, opening up the chest. Relaxing through the collarbones so they can spread wide. And we'll start with a couple of sun salutations for coming into our standing series here. So we'll inhale the arms high. We'll exhale to bow forward, hinging from the hips. Inhaling up to a flat back like a number 7 shape, hands on shins. Exhaling, hands gonna come down. We'll step it back, find your plank pose. Take a big inhale in your plank. We're gonna exhale, knees, chest, and chin come to the floor. The elbows are gonna hug in. Pranam or inchworm inhales us forward to a little baby cobra. The elbows are reaching back behind you, the chest is expanding, and then next exhale takes you back into downward facing dog. Okay, deep breaths. And then we're gonna inhale to look forward between the hands. Exhaling to step one foot then the other up to the top of the mat. Inhale for a nice flat back, number 7 shape. Exhale, belly toward the thighs. And then inhale to unfold. Think of unfolding from the hips here, reaching high. Exhale to heart center. So we're beginning to unfold from the hips rather than rolling up one vertebra at a time here in our Sun Salutation A series with some variations. So we'll inhale the arms high. We'll exhale to fold forward, inhaling up to that flat back. And exhaling, hands plant, stepping it back to plank. Now the same inhale is going to take you down, knees, chest, and chin. Good, hips stay in the air. And then we inhale to peel it forward into our baby cobra. Exhaling to push it back, downward facing dog. We'll start upping the tempo here in a moment. Inhaling to look forward between the hands. Exhaling, stepping one foot then the other. Inhaling to a flat back. Exhaling, falling in. And then inhaling to hinge upward from the hips. And exhale to heart center. Good, so you can stay with this variation, this version, or we'll call out a couple of add-ons here. Inhaling to rise, exhaling to bow forward, inhaling to a flat back, and exhaling the hands plant, stepping it back to plank. Same exhale takes you either through that knees, chest, and chin, or chaturanga. You're going to send the chest forward, but the torso no lower than the upper arms here, so torso not too low, protects the shoulders. Inhaling to an up dog, or you can stay with that cobra and up dog. The knees and hips are off the floor. Exhaling, pushing back, downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths in your downward facing dog. And we're going to inhale to look forward between the hands. Exhale, maybe step or maybe spring load and a light hop forward. Inhaling up to a number 7. Exhaling, belly toward the thigh. And then unfolding from the hips, coming upward, exhaling to heart center. All right, let's go again. Inhaling, high, exhaling to dive in. Inhaling to number 7. Exhaling, hands plant. You can step it back or maybe light hop. Same exhale takes you down through either chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Inhaling up to your cobra or up dog with tops of feet on floor. Exhaling, downward facing dog, 3 breaths. Inhaling to look forward between the hands and exhaling to spring load and lightly hop or step forward. Inhaling to a flat back. Exhaling, belly toward the thighs. Inhaling, unfolding from the hip joint. Reaching high. Exhaling to heart center. Great. Okay, so now we'll come into our Sun Salutation B series. Again, whenever I'm calling out the chaturanga or that reverse push-up, you can take that reverse push-up or go knees, chest, chin instead, which will be a little bit less intense, but still all kinds of benefits. So let's inhale the arms high and exhale to sit the butt back. Sun Salutation B is coming up. Deep breaths here. Big inhale here. And then as we exhale, we're gonna fold it over. Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhaling to a flat back. And then exhaling once again, back to your plank. Same exhale takes you through your reverse push-up of choice, pranam or chaturanga. Inhaling to your back bend of choice here. Exhaling to downward facing dog. And this time, we step that right foot all the way forward from our down dog into a lunge. Back foot pivots and plants 45 degrees. Inhaling to come up to Warrior 1 with left hip forward, right hip back. Think of it as a little back bend here, your Warrior 1. Arms are reaching high. Lift up out of that low back, nice space in the heart area. Keep breathing deeply. Our next exhale, we're going to plant the hands, stepping it back. Again, taking your vinyasa of choice. Reverse push up. Inhaling to back bend. Exhaling to downward facing dog. Right away, stepping that left foot all the way forward. Back foot pivots and plants about 45 degrees up to Warrior 1. Virabhadrasana 1 here. Virabhadrasana letter A. Right hip forward, left hip back. That front knee is reaching toward the pinky toe, reaching out. Big inhale here and exhaling the hands, plant stepping it back. One more reverse push-up of choice here. Knees, chest, chin, or your chaturanga. Inhaling the chest forward. Exhaling right back into downward facing dog. 5 deep breaths in your downward facing dog here. You can always rest in child's pose here as well. Remember that it's always an option. Once we've gone 5 deep breaths here, we're going to inhale to look forward between the hands. Exhale to spring load, maybe hop or step forward. Inhaling to a flat back. Exhaling, the butt goes back. We inhale the arms up to chair pose. And then next exhale takes us reaching high, Tadasana mountain pose. Exhaling to heart center. Okay, beautiful. Now we're going to take that sun salutation B and allow it to lead us into a standing series. So we're going to inhale to rise. We're going to exhale to fold forward. Inhaling to come into a chair pose, butt back. And exhaling forward to our forward fold. Inhaling to a flat back. And exhaling, stepping or hopping back into a plank. Take that reverse push-up of choice, knees, chest, chin, or with the knees off the floor. Inhaling to your back bend of choice, exhaling to downward facing dog. And then we'll step that right foot forward. Coming back into that warrior one situation here. Again, in warrior one, we want the hips to face forward, so it's left hip forward, right hip back here. But not so much that the back knee feels like it's jammed. So very mindful of that back knee opening up through the front of the heart area. All right, from here right into warrior two. So it's a bigger transition than one would think. We're going to turn that left foot about parallel to short side of the mat here. Right toes face forward. So now the hips are open rather than facing forward of the mat. Now the hips are toward the long side of the mat, opening out like a book. Arms are out to a T. We're looking out over that right middle finger. Breathing deeply. Let's inhale to exalt the warrior, so left hand comes down the back thigh. Deep breaths here. As we exhale, we're going to come into extended side angle, right elbow right into that front thigh, or you could always take a block or book underneath that right hand for a little bit more support, but also a little bit more stretch. Left fingertips reach in front of you. Maybe we begin to look up toward that top arm here. And then that left hand lands by the big toe side of the foot. Could be on the block or could be on the floor. And we're going to spin that back heel up. Here we're going to come into a twist. That right arm reaches high. So we're feeling a twist really intensely through the belly button area. That back leg stays long. Reaching those right fingertips as much as you can. Then from here, again, left hand can stay on a block if it's sturdy, or a book, or your left hand can be on the floor. And we're going to begin to take the pinky toe side of that left foot onto the mat back there and come back into side plank. You can go back to supported side plank and take that left knee on the floor. So no matter which side plank you're in, you can inhale to lift up that right leg a little or a lot. Exhale to step that right leg forward. And here we are back in that lunge. From that lunge, we can get rid of that block if you had it in place. Inhaling to reach those fingertips forward into lightning bolt pose. Whew. Big inhale here. And as we exhale, we're gonna take the knee up toward the belly, standing up here. Inhaling, we're gonna lunge it back. Exhaling, pillar pose with our fists of fire down at the hips. Inhaling to reach it back. One more time, exhaling to take it up. Woo, pillar pose. And this time I'm just gonna hang out here and hug my shin. Make contact with myself. I'm gonna turn to face you here. You might wanna take a break and step it out, but if you're good, if you're good to go, we'll keep on our balancing program here. You can stay hugging the shin or grab a hold of your big toe and send that leg straight or maybe less than straight. Just checking out your balance here, and I'm about to fall over. Oh no, wait, I'm not. I'm gonna keep breathing. All right. Let's exhale to open up that gate. You can do that if you're hugging the shin as well, or if you've got that leg extended. Inhale to close the gate in the front. And then see if you want to take that left sole of the foot into that right thigh. Feeling all those wobbles. Breathing into them. Breathe deeply in your tree pose. Maybe you reach it high. Maybe we've already grabbed a chair or a wall for a little bit of balance and then stepped away again. Grab a buddy. Just keep breathing. Look at something in front of you that's not moving. Here we go. Big inhale. And as we exhale, we're going to step it down. And we'll meet in our Tadasana or mountain pose at the front of the mat. Just in time to check out that other side. Let's go ahead and exhale to sit the butt back, feet about hip width apart here, inhaling the arms forward. And tuck the tail here a little bit. See if you want to lean against an imaginary wall behind you, which will engage your core, even that much more here in our chair pose. Try to relax the toes here again. Big inhale here, and let's exhale to fold it forward. Inhaling up to a flat back here, and then we'll exhale the hands down. See if you want to shoot it back or step it back. Take your either knees, chest, chin, or reverse push-up, chaturanga. Inhaling to back bend of choice, exhaling downward facing dog. And right away that left foot steps forward, pivoting and planting the back foot. Inhaling up to our warrior one on this side. It's right hip forward, left hip back. Sinking into that front knee, sending it toward the pinky toe. Deep breaths here. Take the shoulders down away from the ears. Take a big inhale, and we're going to exhale into our warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. Front knee is still reaching outward. The back thigh is wrapping inward. We're looking out over that left middle finger. We're gonna inhale to exalt the warrior here. Space in that left side rib cage. And then exhaling into extended side angle with the elbow on that thigh or hand on your block or book. Reaching out through those right fingertips. And then we'll spin it around, replacing the left hand with the right. We're going to flip that back heel upward so that back heel is floating and twist over to the left. Left hand reaches. Few breaths here. Inhaling for length. Exhaling, think of squeezing from the belly button here. And then as we're ready, we're going to release this twist and reach forward, getting the block out of the way if it's there. From here, it's going to be a big motion. So remember, standing up at the front of the mat with that right knee tucked in. So, I tiptoed my way up there this time. Exhaling into that pillar pose. I'm going to inhale to lunge back. And exhale. Fists by the hips here to kick it forward. Inhaling to reach back. And exhaling to hug forward. This time I hug my shin. I find my balance. Once more, so you can stay at the top of the mat, but I'll go ahead and turn to face you. We can absolutely stay hugging the shin and just stay there in balance, or we can grab the right big toe, sending the leg as straight as it wants to be. The one thing we want to avoid is like hunching over here. Try to keep a long spine. So if you find yourself hunching a lot, go ahead and bend that knee, hug it in instead. Big inhale here. We exhale to open that gate. Open that leg out. Kind of like what we were doing on the floor at the beginning of practice. Inhaling to take it back forward. And then see if you want to play with tree pose. So placing the sole of that right foot on the left thigh. Press the foot into the leg into the foot. But be sure not to have your foot on the knee. And so we want to release any pressure on the knee, just to protect that knee joint. Whenever you're feeling it, maybe the hands come high, growing those branches. Tree pose. Breathing deeply, looking at something that's not moving. Big inhale. Nice. And then we're going to exhale, taking that foot down. Good. Stepping it out, side to side. So we'll meet back in Tadasana at the front of the mat. Allow our feet to find Mother Earth here. And we can get ready for one more vinyasa flow, and then we'll really take it down and relax. So we'll inhale, the arms high. We'll exhale to fold forward. Inhaling to a flat back here. Exhaling to hop or step back. Coming to your reverse push-up of choice, inhaling to your back bend of choice, exhaling, finding downward facing dog. Take a big inhale here, and then exhaling, we'll take the knees out wide, big toes together, finding a child's pose here. Breathing deeply, just finding our breath, really connecting with that breath here. And then when we're ready, we'll send that right hand back somewhere on that right foot or in that general direction. As we inhale, we'll come up, reach the left arm high, reach left fingertips over to the right a little, half camel. Exhaling our way back down. Now it's left hand, left foot, inhaling to reach it high. Exhaling to come back down. Let's do 2 more rounds on each side, just using the rhythm of your own breath as a guide here. Inhaling to make that space, exhaling to hug in. One more time, big inhales, deep exhales. And then we'll meet back in our extended child's pose. And then taking the knees a little bit closer together, knees about hip width apart. We'll go ahead and grab the blocks. We may want to use them right by the sides as we go into a full camel pose. I like to start with the blocks up at the highest height and just kind of have them near me here on the mat. Again, you may or may not feel like you want to use them, but it's kind of nice to have them there. All right, so from here, just standing on the knees, you can always fold the mat over for a little bit more cushioning under the knees, or use a blanket. We'll just swim it backwards here a little bit. And then eventually, we'll swim one hand back maybe toward one block, the other one back toward the other block. Maybe it's just fingertips on the blocks right now. Another alternative is just having the hands on the low back. If you don't want to come down quite this far, you can be up here. So, sending the chest forward. If you're feeling dizzy, taking the head back, that's a good sign to not do that. But yeah, it's a very common thing to get dizzy in this pose. Let's inhale our way out of it. We'll try it a couple more times. Again, you can always have the hands on the low back, or if you really want to go for it, placing the hands on the heels back there. I always really like to start just by loosening up through the shoulders here, and then eventually kind of swimming my way back there, pressing the hips forward as though I'm pressing into a wall in front of me. Deep breaths here. Exhaling our way out of it. Slight tuck and round, maybe in between is just like a counter pose. And then we'll try it one more time. And maybe, if you're feeling it, hands might come down a little bit lower, blocks a little bit lower, or finally placing the hands onto the heels. But the blocks have 3 different heights you can adjust to as well. Again, if that dizziness happens, it's a good sign maybe you don't want to have your head fall back, or maybe you just prefer a different back bend like bridge pose. This is really nice to open up the front side of the body and to work on the flexibility in the spine. Let's inhale our way back up and out of this. And then taking the blocks out of the way, we'll make our way into child's pose. This time, traditional child's pose with the knees close together, the hands reach back. And from here, we might even want to come into rabbit pose, where from our child's pose, we begin to take the hips up toward the ceiling, really round that back out a lot. And the hands stay on the heels if they want to be there. The top of the head might even come onto the floor. Deep breaths here. This is a great counter pose to camel pose. And then we'll inhale our way back up. All right, so time to come into cow face, I think, for a lot of winding down here. We're gonna have the knees on the mat about hip width apart, and we're taking a tabletop shape here with the hands in front. Again, you might want to have a block handy close by. Definitely have the strap close by. Okay, that belt. And then from that tabletop shape, we'll simply take the right knee in front of the left. Here's where I'm going to turn to face you. And we will take the feet out to either side, kind of fanning the shins out a little bit. And then see if you're feeling okay sitting back. And the butt might come onto the mat. And if that's not feeling good to you, you can be sitting on a block. Or if it really just feels like too much, you're welcome to come into just a crisscross applesauce position. It's all good. Just get what you need here. But if you're in that classic cow face position, classically we have the right knee stacked over the left in this position, but mine are not quite lined up. It's a nice stretch to the hips here, but you do have to be mindful of the knees to not put pressure there. See if those hips are both reaching the ground. Otherwise, place a block under there, some cushioning. And then from here, we're just going to grab onto that strap or belt, reach that with the left hand, and we're going to reach that left arm high. Okay, and then we're going to take the right arm forward with the palm facing out, and then fan it back behind you. So the palm is facing out, the top of the hand is kind of crawling up your back, and then we bend that left elbow, and behind here, my right hand is crawling up the bottom of the strap, and my top hand is kind of crawling down. They might meet in the middle, they might not. Right now, my hands feel like they're a couple miles apart. It's probably more a matter of inches, but what I am feeling is a really nice stretch through the fronts of the shoulders here. You can even roll the shoulders out from this position. If you want a little bit more stretch through the hips, you can take a big inhale here and exhale to take the belly toward the thighs, just ever so gently. Deep breaths here. All right, as we inhale, let's come on up. Exhaling to release that strap. And if your hands meet in the back, woohoo, then you won't need the strap. Usually I need the strap on one side and not the other. And so we'll go ahead and uncross the legs, de-pretzel them, send the knees out side to side, and then we'll see about that other side. So we're going to begin, again, in that tabletop position. I think it's kind of the most expedient way to get there. So from that tabletop position, we cross that left knee right in front of the right, and then begin to fan those feet out to either side. So now we've got the left in front of the right, we're fanning the feet out, and then we see if on this side it feels all right to sit back, either onto a block, or again, cross-legged position is also totally fine. It'll also give you a hip stretch there. So just settling in, feeling the sits bones reach down toward the floor. That in itself gives you a really nice hip stretch here. And then we'll grab that strap with the right hand this time. Inhale that right arm high, reaching your left arm in front, turning the palm out to the side, and then we'll glide that hand back, bend the elbow, and the palm will be then facing out. So here, I'm going to crawl the hands towards each other on the strap back here. On this side, my fingers kind of meet. And I'm going to stay here for a few breaths. Maybe roll the shoulders out a little bit. Just kind of see how things feel. Why is it called cow face pose? Because my elbow's supposed to be the cow's ear, And my legs fanning out are supposed to be the cow's mouth. Go figure. So cow face pose, Gomukhasana. If you're feeling it, maybe the belly comes toward the thighs. A little, a lot, or not at all. And see where it feels like you're reaching your edge, where you can still soften into the pose and not feel like a huge amount of resistance that turns into tension. We want that resistance to soften. And then as we're ready, we're going to go ahead and come on up. Release the arms that bind. Eventually uncross the legs. We'll keep that strap handy. Windshield wiper the knees side to side. And then as you're ready, just coming into a boat pose, Navasana. You can start with the hands behind you. Maybe then reaching the fingertips forward. If we can do this with the spine remaining nice and long. Squeeze the feet together, squeeze the legs together. Long spine, long back of the neck. Big inhale, exhaling, let's hover. Maybe just about halfway down. And then begin to roll down as slowly as you can, hugging the knees in. From here, we're actually going to just play with these stretches that we also did at the beginning of the class. And just see how they feel now. So, without further ado, we'll just take the left leg long and the strap around the ball of the right foot. And stretching long here. Trying to send the heel high on the inhale. And a gentle pull to the ball of the foot on the exhale. The muscles are nice and warm now. And then taking both ends of the strap into the right hand. We'll start this time with the left hand on the left hip as we fan that right leg out to the right. Just a couple of breaths here for this inner thigh stretch. And it's also a chance for the nervous system to really begin to calm down. Inhaling the leg back high, switching hands on the strap. And then this time, let's hop the hips over to the right once or twice before we take this twist with the right leg falling over to the left. So it's a little bit more of a spinal twist this time. Gentle pull on that strap. That's the glute, the back of the leg, the IT band as well. Inhaling your way back up. And this time we'll simply allow that leg to fall. Comparing the two sides. Before we draw that left leg in, bending the knee. Wrapping the strap around the ball of that left foot, sending that leg high. A couple of breaths here as we inhale, sending the heel a little bit higher. Maybe exhaling to gently, gently add pressure to the strap. And taking both ends of the strap into the left hand, big inhale here. And exhaling to fan out to the left while we take the hand onto that right hip. this stretch to softly take effect. Feeling the body melt and never going as far as the body feels just a little bit too tight, or as far as you feel like a ton of resistance. As long as you can still soften into the stretch, it's all good. Let's inhale the leg back high. We'll switch hands on the strap, and again, this time we'll hop the hips over to the left once or twice, taking that left leg over to the right, looking out over that left arm, draped out to a T. The strap helps support us from going a little too far, as much as it does help us kind of pull into the stretch. So use it to your best advantage, make it feel good. And that next inhale is going to take us back high. And then just losing the strap, just allowing that leg to drape down. And here, either if you want to come right into Shavasana, into that rest, you can go ahead, go for it, or maybe we take a happy baby before we go there. Take a little roll around, see what you need, maybe grabbing the outer blades of the feet, getting a little bit more static, pulling the knees right into the rib cage, or any other posture that's calling you right now. Just feel free to take that. Anything that will help you in your final relaxation. And then once we get there, we end the practice where we started, in our Shavasana. Externally, it looks roughly the same, but it might feel a lot different at the end of the practice as it does at the beginning. So just notice whatever there is to notice. Gradually allowing that movement to come back into the body. Moving the fingertips, toe tips, and just letting that movement radiate through the ankles, the wrists, the limbs, the rest of the body. Just enjoying each movement as it comes in. Appreciating all that your body can do today. And inhaling to reach the arms up overhead, exhaling to give yourself a giant hug here for making it to your yoga practice today. Rolling it over, rolling it to your favorite side, one side or the other, and taking a moment even there just to pause, feel supported by the floor, feel supported by the earth. And pushing yourself up gently from the hands, coming to a comfortable seat. And appreciating all that you are. Thank you so much for joining me for yoga today. Be well. Namaste.